Now, in a move to encourage more private investors to embrace currency derivatives, the JSE is expanding its Quanto derivatives range. Warren Gears, General Manager of Bonds as well as Financial Derivatives at Trading Division, joins us now for more. That's a long title there, Warren.
Not my intention.
The rest of us are just anchors, journalists.
And I'm just the head of a desk, so nothing different.
The head of a desk. But nonetheless, tell us exactly what is Quanto currency futures. It's not a term that we come across quite often.
No, and sorry for the mouthful. It's not the intent. The Johannesburg launched last year the Quanto futures around the commodity products, and we have traded very successfully. So we, as a trading entity that is able to trade currency futures against the rand, we've been trying to get in touch with the most popular global currency in the world, which is the euro dollar. Now, unfortunately, due to our dispensation with the Reserve Bank and National Treasury, we were never allowed to list two different currency pairs trading against each other, like the euro dollar. So basically what the Quanto does, it gives us the ability to mimic the euro dollar, but call it a Quanto. So whatever happens in the underlying market will be derived, and you do exactly the same thing, make exactly the same amount of money, but you're not sending money offshore, and you're going to make the same amount of money.
How does this compare to Forex trading?
Okay, so Forex trading, it's ultimately the same thing. Forex trading, so if you're trading through an entity, for example, like GT247, Saxo Bank, there you actually have to deposit money with them. They send that money offshore. That then gets turned into either dollar or euro. Then your profits are made in that specific currency. Yeah, you get exactly the same underlying feeling, the same profit, except your money stays in South Africa. So you're not using your foreign offshore allowance. Very important.
So foreign offshore allowance, how would exchange controls relate to that? Okay,
so normally if you're going to trade or speculate in an entity, whether it be an entity, an asset management company, the foreign currency itself in an offshore market, you, as I say, you have to send your money offshore. And to do that, you have to go to Reserve Bank to get permission to do that. But this product, you don't have to. So this product remains a rand-settled instrument, but you get the same underlying movement and the same profitability.
So does that diminish the risks associated with investing offshore, perhaps?
Well, yes and no, because you still want that underlying movement. You want the risk that's happening in that underlying product. So you want the euro dollar to move in a specific direction. So it's very much a speculative instrument, so hence why we're targeting the retail investors in this product. This is not something that you're going to hedge an import or an export shipment. Okay, that we have generic currency futures with. So if you're going to import something from the US, then you'll buy currency futures, US dollar currency futures. So that's a specific hedge. This is more speculative. And just for interest for anybody that's watching, we will be charging zero for the first 3 months of this product. So we can see the appetite. Once we understand the appetite, then we'll put a fee associated to it. We do have a bank, namely Rand Merchant Bank, that will be making live prices on the instrument from this morning. So there's a price, people can see it, they can go to the online share portfolios through any of the brokers, and they'll be able to identify and see where this instrument is trading.
You mentioned you're targeting retail investors there. Now, this term doesn't happen to slip off their tongues quite easily. I'm sure you're going very hard on an education initiative, perhaps.
Yes. So we're launching today. So everything's hitting the media this morning. We will be doing a roadshow with the broker community, because remember, we never directly communicate with the end users. So anybody that really wants to buy, we will educate them, but ultimately the broker is responsible to educate their user, because they're the ones that are going to take their money. The exchange is merely providing the platform and the entity through which they can trade, and a product which is now new to the market. So yes, we will be educating the market, and they will educate the end user directly. But if somebody does want to ask us any questions and get a better feeling, they can email us at currencies@jse.co.za.
Just on this, has this been launched anywhere else in the world, and what's the success rate been like?
Okay, so Quantos, as I said earlier, I mean, from the commodity products has been a success. We've got some of the international products, so like Google and the likes thereof. IDX division, our International Derivatives Exchange division, they would promote Quanto futures. So generally, yes, it's not something that any other country has to do, because they don't have exchange control regulations. So it's merely because of exchange control regulations, we just mimic what's happening in the underlying market, but everything's cash and rand settled.
So for some of the naysayers who might say that you are working your way around the exchange controls, would you agree to that, perhaps?
No, we get permission from Reserve Bank to list this product. So it took time for that to happen. So we engage directly with Reserve Bank, and they give us permission, and only in the back of that do we list a product.